Number 1, Noreen Cootie. Number 2, Dana Bond. 3, Erin Harty. 4, Jana Gerber. 5, Jordan Mayer. 6, Hannah Reid. 7, Lindsay Scholz. 8, Desiree Kutzer. 9, Isabella De Brain. 10 is Jade Vaughan. 11, Nicholas Stump. And the coach is Luke Manty, and the manager, Elsie Moore, with Mr. Pearson. Then, from Cape Town, Redden, number 1, and in the wings, 2, Jordan Harding, 3, Saskia Hinkle, 4, Lucky Dupuya, 5, Jennifer Bruns, 6, Maxine Langenhoff, 7, Hannah Hill, 8, Leah Buller, 9, Tanner Deacon, 10, Kelly.
Good morning to everybody joining us for this live streaming by School Sports Live. We are of course at the Stadiums Invitational up in Johannesburg.
The coach is
we are just about to get the finals underway of the girls. Team announcements are being read.
The game is going to be officiated by
into the final together with the Redden from Cape Town.
But now down in the Western Cape,
contesting the gold medal match
from the Western Cape.
In this tournament.
For your refereeing
finals being played in the Olympic pool here at Cincinnati. Lovely venue. It's been a lovely weekend of water polo thus far. Plenty of teams making their way up to Johannesburg. We've had first team boys, first team girls, and of course down in the smaller pool, the under 13 girls have been competing down there. Has been a wonderful weekend of water polo, and we're just about to wrap things up. Teams have just been announced. They will make final preparations before we get this final underway. Great to see that the weather has played its part this weekend. We did have quite a thunderstorm yesterday. Typical Highveld thunderstorm last night, but it seems there will be no interruption today. Slight wind coming across the pool, but other than that, a good day to enjoy some water polo. Just a reminder, these visuals, of course, brought to you by School Sports Live. Privilege to have them a part of this tournament. For those parents, spectators, friends and family that are not able to be here to watch this tournament, they're bringing you the games live via the YouTube streaming channel. Lovely visuals, and to the entire crew at School Sports Live. Massive thanks from the organizing committee here at St. Stadiums for the work that you've done from very early in the morning till late at night, making sure that everybody is able to watch these games. Grant McKenzie, coach from Redden in Cape Town, he'll be up against Luke Manty, both very experienced coaches when it comes particularly to the girls. Both have had a very successful tournament thus far, and quite the competent year of water polo as well, so quite a competitive one on the go. Referees for this game will be Luke Penny on the table side. He'll be ably assisted by Matthew Stringer, both referees from Cape Town. They will be the men in charge of this tournament. Final preparations underway before we get this one underway.
Right, we're ready to go, and thanks very much to the table managers officiating for this final. Good luck to both teams. Enjoy.
For those of you new to the sport or not really having been following the tournament, 4 chukkers of playing time, 7 minutes stop start. There will be 2 timeouts allowed by each coach. And in the eventuality of a drawn result, game will go into penalties. Here we go. Playing from left to right on your screen. In the blue caps is Redham from Cape Town. And in the white caps, Pearson. First goal scoring opportunity by Redham. Quick to pounce onto the ball. Wasting no time in being conservative is Redham first on the attack. Keeper making a double save to get Pearson out of trouble very early on. We will be used to the mobility of Redham, as they are well known. Very mobile and nimble players versus Pearson. Big, strong players. So, 2 different games expected here. We've seen a lot of that throughout the tournament. Referees doing a very good job at allowing the players advantage to play. Reversal in the center there. From the center from Redham. Just holding on to the Kozi. Matthew Stringer allowing none of it. Joining me in commentary is the SA Ladies captain, Kelsey White, also coach of St Mary's up in Waverley, Johannesburg. Lovely to have you with me, Kelsey.
Thanks, Lucky.
Obviously, your voice has done a lot of work over the weekend.
Yes, it has, and I'm going to try my best to commentate this game.
We see the first exclusion foul given at the transition. Pearson with 20 seconds of advantage with an extra man. Adequate opportunity for them to put their names up on the score sheet very early on.
And Dana Bond with the ball. Dana coming from Zimbabwe. Recently just joined Pearson. Falling short of the goal. And a great goal from number 10. It's one of the Vaughan sisters. Well done, Pearson.
Vaughan, indeed, Jade. She puts Pearson on the score sheet. First who reacted to the rebound shot, comes out nice and high. Makes no mistake. Pearson ahead by 1 goal in the first checker of this ladies' final. Kelsey, obviously we're changing venues for this final. Do you think there's much of a difference in terms of the players adapting? Slightly bigger goals, slightly wider the pool. Obviously it is a senior setup, shall we say, but with the girls having, and boys, being used to playing in slightly smaller conditions throughout the tournament. Do you think it will really have any effect or not so much?
I think with everybody watching in the bigger arena, I think it might have quite an effect on the nerves more than anything. But I think both teams are, that is Hannah Reid with a goal, with a nice backflip goal. But yeah, both teams just trying to keep up the pace in this big wide pool. It's a bit wider than any other pool, so it might make a difference. And then also the difference to the time. It's with stop-start 7 minutes, so it's quite a long game. Could find fatigue fitting in maybe in the third chukker.
Hannah Reid there with the second goal for Pearson. A deep drop Redham is playing, obviously cautious of the centre forwards from Pearson. But that said, allowing top shooters from Pearson to have a go.
And Redham now with a man-up opportunity. to try and score a goal.
Man up advantage from Redham. Shot on goal. Good blocking by the defending players. Redham really need to capitalize on these attacks, Kelsey. 3 attacks virtually now they've had without converting. A 2-meter corner throw by Redham allows them a new 30 seconds possession.
And a great steal from Dana Bond, number 2, from Pearson. With 3 minutes left in the game, Pearson looking stronger to counter-attack every single attack. With Redham with a good defense there, coming back for each other and helping out the centre-back and stealing the ball. Another 2-meter corner opportunity for Redham. Hopefully they can capitalize on this one, as it's their 4th one in the game, with 2 minutes 45 left in the game.
Decision-making time there for referee Matthew Stringer. Appeals for a penalty. A lot of the crowd thinking that the goalkeeper had taken the ball underwater, which of course the result would be a penalty, but Matthew Stringer adjudicating that the ball had gone out rather by the goalkeeper. Reason for winning the 2-meter. Their 5th corner throw here for Redham.
Once again, Pearson getting the better of Redham in their defense, and with Jade Vaughan watching the ball and covering her defense nicely there.
Lovely awareness there indeed by Jade Vaughan. We can see now, Kelsey, as we head into the last 2 minutes of this first quarter, how this how wide this pool really is. We can see a very wide setup by the girls, and like you said, quite tiring for them to make their way up the pool and to set up.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference to the whole way you should set up around your centre forward, and I think both teams are trying to have to adjust to that. Oh, good attempt from number 8 from Redham.
Lee has done a fantastic job throughout the tournament. She covers both the centre forward and centre positions very nicely, and once again up to the task. Unfortunately, crossbar just coming into her way there. Got a rocket shot on her as well, does Leah. Half a turn.
Another opportunity now for Redham with a kick out on number 5 from Pearson, and they need to try and capitalize this to get on the scoreboard in the first chukka with 1 minute left in the game.
Power play advantage once again for Redham. They almost have to capitalize here, don't they, Kelsey?
Yeah, and a great goal from Leah Buller, number 8 from Redham, taking her time.
As I say that, Leah does oblige to our request in the commentary booth, rising nice and high in that position and shooting across cage to get Redham on the score sheet.
It's good drawing by the number 5 from Redham as well, drawing all the defense to her to open up her teammate Leah Buller. Very good attack from the Redham side.
Immediately onto the attack is Redham once again, causing an exclusion foul.
Quickly turned over with
really
Pearson's
being
good
put
defense.
under pressure here in the first chukka, Kelsey. Redham giving him a lot to think about in terms of decision making in front of goals.
I know, thank goodness he's very accurate with his calls often.
23 seconds ago, Pearson will look to slow things down a little bit. In the last 2 minutes, they've really been put under immense pressure from the mobility of this Redham side.
with 12 seconds only left in the game, and Redham on their last attack. A very close call, close to the goal there, but Pearson having the advantage of coming back on defense and luckily saving it before the whistle went.
So the first quarter ends in this final of the St. Cidians Invitational between Redham and Pearson. The score 2-1 to the ladies in white from East London. 3 more quarters to go. Players will have just over a minute and a half to get instructions from coaches, and certainly something to drink. It really has been a paced chucker, this one. Kelsey, tell me, throughout the tournament, and we've seen it just in the last couple of minutes in this quarter, the referees playing a lot of advantage, particularly when the ball is put into the center. Coaches might argue to give the exclusion immediately, and on the other hand, we want to try and encourage players obviously to advance and to make the ball. What is your thoughts on that? We've just seen it now with Pearson ball into the center.
Yeah, I think it's very important, because when the girls get up to senior level and play internationally, the refs are very quick to give the advantage and play the advantage and to let the players work for the ball. So it's good that the refs are trying to as well teach the players to work harder for goals, and especially if they've got ball in hand, to keep going for the goal and not letting easy kickouts come.
That said, Kelsey, it's an instruction to obviously the refereeing staff, and one would like to think that coaches understand that well. But having watched the tournament, how many of the players understand that? Because we see a lot of frustrations from the players, not getting easy fouls, not getting exclusions. How many of our players do you think really know about having to go for the ball rather than sit and expect things? I think that's one of the things that are to our detriment when it comes to any form of polo, particularly at a junior level, to get them to play.
I think a lot of the juniors have learnt a lot of lessons about how it should work and how they should be playing the advantage and how they need to really work for goals. So I think it's throughout the tournament. I know with experience with my team, they learnt a lot through how they should be working and not just getting anything they want. So I think throughout the players and referees, it's been quite consistent. It was good.
We see ball there in to the centre for Pearson.
And Dana Bond again with a huge shot, thinking carefully, getting herself onto the 5 meter and getting a great shot off the foul on the 5 there. Finishing, getting up nice and high and crunching and finishing that shot.
Dana now gives Pearson a 2-goal advantage in this final. Following what you've just said there, Kelsey, it's very important what Dana did there. She gets a foul, she does not rush, she sets herself in a good shooting position. She has a look at the goal before having a shot on target there. A lot of the players, we see them rush before they're in a good position to shoot. Although the rule does say that the shot must be taken immediately, there is a second or so just to set yourself and to have a proper accurate shot on goal. Yeah,
perfect. And then again we see it on Redham's side trying to do the same with Leah Buller, and unfortunately hitting the woodwork once again. And a goal from number 3 from Pearson, Erin Harty. Also a strong driver, strong player, good outside shot, getting off the foul, watching for that shot to come right away, and she manages to get it barring down.
Good awareness there by Erin, realizing that there's a drop onto the center. Of course, we are used to the mobile game that Redham does play, taking it upon herself to have a good shot on goal.
Seems to be a shot on goal after a foul on the 5 kind of game. We've seen 3 goals right after each other here, each attack with a foul on the 5. Both teams needing to maybe think about their defense a bit better and how we shouldn't be fouling so easily on the perimeter.
Certainly so. Leah's not complaining. She's keeping Redham in this contest. She adds a 2nd goal to her personal tally and so to that of Redham. You speak about easy fouls on the perimeter, Kelsey, but how important is it for the players to be laddering down and buzzing in between the players to avoid those easy fouls on 5, as you mentioned?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of, I think, our junior players, we just think it's so important to mark our one player in front of us and forget about the other 5 in the water. And we've seen as the girls grow up into this first team level how important it is to make those switches and to do all of those gappings in between, so that we're covering spaces instead of just a player.
Kelly onto the ball now for Redham. She puts a ball into the center. Hannah with a shot on goal. Unfortunately, goalkeeper equal to the task is Kluti. And she sends a ball up to the center. Pearson firmly into the attack. In possession is Desiree.
You can see both teams, top-level teams, being able to handle the ball well around the perimeter, making great passes and not fumbling the ball, which sets them apart, I think, from a lot of teams at this tournament.
A reminder to any of our new viewers or those new to the game, 13 players in a side, 7 in the pool at any given time, including that of the goalkeeper. 4 quarters being played. 30 seconds to try your best to get up the pool and to hopefully convert before possession changes.
There's a great example there of how players need to work a bit harder to go for goal, with the advantage rule that the referees are applying. Pearson very high on their defense as soon as ball turns around, on their counter defense, putting a lot of pressure on Redham as soon as they turn onto defense.
Pearson doing well to sit in between, Kelsey, in between the players, anticipating the danger. And there's that laddering down that we're talking about to avoid those fouls on 5. Textbook defense there by Pearson.
Yeah, number 8, Hannah Reid, reading where the ball is moving as a centre-back position. Very important, and followed exactly where it was going and was able to intercept the ball well there.
Doing well to play their position is Pearson, as we see a lovely ball into the center. Rising from the bottom of the pool is Dupree.
Jana Gerber with the ball.
Apologize, wrong team. I almost awarded a goal to the wrong team there. Lovely ball into the center, half a turn, and into the bottom right-hand corner goes the ball. 3 goals up now are Pearson.
It's good to see, though, that Redham still charging up the attack. Number 3, Erin from Pearson, getting an ejection. And Redham given an opportunity to try capitalize here with a man-up opportunity.
20 seconds in this power play Redham has. Julia Williams doing well to get that exclusion. Half turn towards a goal. And being impeded there by one of the goal scorers, Erin.
A fantastic man-up opportunity. They moved the ball well, moved the defense well, having to move from wing to wing and score a great goal, number 6.
Maxine does well to finish off there. There's the advantage of having a nice wide pool, Kelsey. Like you say, they really did draw the defense nice and wide.
Great finish as well.
And a lovely, lovely finish, as we see there in the highlights package. But what really helped there is nice passing, ball off the water, nice flat ball. Makes it very, very difficult for defenders to move across. Lovely comeback there by Redham.
With the score being 5-3 now, still to Pearson. And 2 minutes, 9 seconds left in the game. In the chucker, sorry.
Lovely to see the fighting spirit from Redham, it must be said, Kelsey, because Pearson did have quite an amazing start, but not giving up is Redham.
As usual, we always know Redham to be a team that goes 4 chuckers full on. And they're not a team to mess with in terms of their counter-attack either.
A timeout called by the Pearson head coach, Luke Manthe. 2 timeouts, of course, allowed by each coach. A timeout can only be called when a team is in possession during the game. He will have about a minute to give instructions to his players. Tactical timeout by Luke Menthe. I think he just wants to give his players a bit of a breather. They've been working extremely hard, and Redham has had the upper hand in terms of getting 2 really good goals. So I'm sure he just wants to tell his players just to settle down, to control the ball. Just under 2 minutes left in this quarter to see them through.
And probably on the other hand, for Redham to keep charging and to try and get more on the scoreboard here and use their opportunities.
Timeout almost up. The game will start even Stevens in terms of players in the pool. Massive thanks to the main sponsors of the tournament, Maitland. A tournament of this nature obviously does not happen without generous sponsorships. The headline sponsor, that being Maitland. Many thanks to their generous contributions. We will make our way through the other sponsors as well as the game does continue.
Number 11, Nicholas Stock there with a attempt at an outside shot, falling short, and the goalie having a great save. The Pearson goalie watching for that interception and making a steal. It was good awareness from number 1, Kluter.
Kelsey, we saw Maxine driving up the middle of the pool. How important is it when it comes to accurate passing?
Well, in the middle of the pool with passes on a drive, you know, it cannot be on the water, especially if it's 3 meters in front of the goal. Shouldn't be a ball on the water, as there's not a lot of space and it can be a 50-50 ball. And on a drive, someone's looking to get it on their hand to finish a shot right away. So outside passes need to be looking for that too.
Pearson get the ball up to Desiree, who's in the center. They need to get that ball back to her, as she's the player that's been dropped off. So she needs to try and break that drop. Ball coming in from the wing, allowing Pearson an extra man advantage. Didn't see who went out there. It does look like it's Jennifer who's out, been excluded. 20 seconds now for attack.
Pearson changing up their attack a bit and playing a double centre forward kind of set up and opening up their channels on the perimeter there, and it being more of a threat.
You speak of a double centre, Kelsey. For those not experienced as you are, what is the advantage of a double centre, and why do teams adopt a double centre?
With the double centre, I think it's huge threat in terms of if you've got 2 strong centre forwards, and this creates a lot more of a risk in terms of defence, where you should be marking, and opens up your perimeter players as well. So just brings 2 strong players closer to the goal, where defence has to drop a bit more and be a bit more careful in the spaces that they're covering, and with that then opening up the outside shooters. And if you've got a good team with good outside shooters, it gives them that space to get a little bit more creative, not just one single centre forward in the hole, and that was how they earned a good kick out and then a good finish as well.
As we see the lovely highlight package, it is of course half-time in this the gold medal match of the ladies between Redham from Cape Town and Soto Pearson. Pearson in a lead of 2 goals, 5-3 is the scoreline. Another advantage as we speak there, Kelsey, about the centre, is also an option to break the zone defence of the defending side. Is another good option there for a double centre. However, from a defensive point of view, should you be able to defend nicely against that, it does give you a good option, although it be slim, a good option for a counter-attack, because one would hope that you would turn the 2 centre forwards and be up. So there are pros and cons both ways. If it does work, really positive, but if it's not up to scratch, it does allow the possibility of a counter-attack by the defending team.
Yeah, if you've got your perimeter players, your perimeter defensive players being able to cover their spaces very easily, and all aware of which corners they're covering, then it can work for your advantage in terms of defense and turning it into a counter-attack into your transitional play.
The halftime break almost done and dusted. Just a quick one, Kelsey, before we do get underway. From both sides, you are Luke Manthe, head coach of Pearson, and you are Grant McKenzie, head coach of Redham at the moment. What is your halftime team talk to go into the second half of the game?
Well, all about keeping your composure. The game is still in anybody's hands at this point. Making sure that they don't slow down on attack, and that defense is obviously very important if you are the team that is up, because you don't want to give away any open spaces. And yeah, just to get your girls' headspace back into the good mentality of winning a final and having that big match temperament that they need.
In terms of Pearson, last thing you want to do is now slow down the game to the extent where you stop attacking and not stop scoring, because like you say, this Redham side, as we've become accustomed, does not give up and keeps trucking on. From a Redham point of view, keep chugging along as we've seen their potential. Maxine has been a standout player for this Redham side, as we see a bit of a wayward pass there. Having to hustle back is Redham. They recover the ball quite nicely, does Jennifer Brains. New attack being awarded there to Redham. Was not a clear change of possession. Remember, you have 30 seconds to attack. But life gets a little bit tricky, particularly when players are contesting for the ball. Remember, possession only changes when there is a clear change of possession.
Pearson back on the attack, with Dana Bond playing on the outside, not so much in the centre forward position, and trying to keep that perimeter play strong.
3 seconds to go. I'm sure we'll see a shot here.
What a fantastic lob shot from number 6, Hannah Reid, and their captain, Hannah Reid, reading where the goalie is placed and keeping her calm, and I think faking that there was going to be a hard shot, but then moving it into a great lob from the left-hand side of the pool into the right corner of the goals.
Seems South African men's player Nicholas Rodder started a trend here in South Africa with these slow lob shots from the centre.
Yes.
Those of you that were fortunate enough to watch the World Championships just over a month and a bit ago would have seen Nick Rodder with those lob shots. Lovely control from Pearson. They really did run the clock down. They were always in control of the ball, and Erin taking the weight off the ball, and just a lovely loft shot into the back corner.
Pearson still looking to be quite controlled on their defense, but slowing down a bit on their attack, trying to again control the ball, but like you said earlier, you don't want to slow it down too much, especially with a team with like Redham, who are going to keep attacking until that last whistle blows. Dana taking a bit long there to take her shot from the outside, and Redham being able to take it and go on their transitional counter-attack. Seeing quite a wide setup again. A huge difference. The girls are obviously trying to get the ball into the hole quickly, but we can see the fatigue kind of setting in now, and that wide setup happening more and more.
Certainly so. It is setting in, which is why now more than ever, particularly for the younger players, we need to be mentally fit. Bodies are tired, very, very tired. Dana there with an exclusion foul against her. Player was awarded a foul, and she was just a bit too quick to play the ball.
Fantastic man-up opportunity for Redham. Again, keeping their calm, just like their attack man-up they scored before. Waiting for that best opportunity for somebody to be open, not rushing it, moving the ball to the spaces where they need to, and finding the free player. And a wonderful ball onto number 4, Duprice, and a great finish, staying up big and high, holding the ball and finishing it where she needs to.
textbook extra man there by Redham. Dupree keeping them well within this contest. Only 2 goals in it now. Plenty of time still to go. I'm sure Grant McKenzie will be telling his players not to panic. A lovely worked man up it was. Pearson now with an opportunity to respond via Dana. We can see the intentions by Dana, just a second time now not coming about. Fighting fit is Redham. Onto the attack now. They are.
With a reversal on number 7, Hannah Hill from Redham. In girls water polo, you obviously have the suit you can grab onto. A lot of grabbing happens in girls water polo. But the trick is to not let it be seen. So that was a bit above water, which is why there was a reversal on the ball.
Bit of a zone employed there by Redham, but the centre from Pearson still able to come away with a shot. They just need a bit more urgency there, Kelsey, if they are going to zone to come in and to steal that ball. Leah now in possession of the ball for Redham. Not too many options available to Leah, but she certainly does not need it. Foul on 5 meters and a direct shot on goal, which is allowed. And Redham certainly not giving up this contest. A lovely goal into the top right-hand corner, not giving the goalie a chance to get onto the ball.
Also really important with her variation of shots. You've seen a bounce shot, a high corner shot. It's good to have good variation, and she's chosen the right opportunities to use them in.
Lovely turn there by Erin. She now sets up in the centre position. Good awareness to pop the ball out. She saw that she didn't have time to employ a shot of her choosing.
And another great lob from Hannah Reid. Seems that Nick Rodder's got some competition as the trending name, the Lob King. We might have the Lob Queen in our midst coming up into the SA programs with a wonderful, great lob again from number 6, Hannah Reid.
Psychologically, Kelsey, how important is that goal by Hannah Reid? Because we've seen Redham making their way back into this final. And how important is it for Pearson to keep that scoreboard ticking and maintain their advantage on the scoreboard?
Yeah, absolutely. So important to keep going and to keep thinking about different options. Not staying with the same kind of setup and changing it up so the other team has to adapt well. And Pearson have kept really good control about that. And looking at all of their options, keeping the ball in control of every single attack with good options all over the place.
No nonsense approach by both referees in terms of grabbing of the suits. We saw Matthew Stringer reverse the Redham centre.
Pearson starting to rush their attack a bit here and trying to open up opportunities and rather than just controlling the ball a bit.
On behalf of the organising committee here at St. Sidion's, led by Tournament Director Mr. Bruno Fernandes, a massive thanks to everybody that's made their way to this tournament, to players, to parents, spectators,
and that's
particularly
number 10.
To the players as well.
Number 10, Jade Vaughan with a kick out. And Redham have called a timeout. Grant McKenzie hopefully has a play ready for the team and ready for them to attack and get another goal on the scoreboard. Pearson having to talk about what defense they need to do now in their man-down situation.
Excuse the pun, but good timing by Grant to call a timeout now. Psychologically, this would be massive for Redham if they were to convert this extra man. It would put them within a goal in this final. Certainly far from over. As we see the highlights package there. Lovely loft shot into the far corner. Back live we are now. Redham will have an opportunity to go on the attack with an extra man advantage.
With the score being 7-5 in the third quarter, 1 minute 38 to go. Again, same kind of shots as earlier. Pearson maybe a bit poor on their defense on that front line. Your post players are your most important that you need to look after on that defense. Same goal again. Luca Duprice getting the ball in the middle, looking for it from a wing player and finishing exactly the way she needs to.
Same thing again, Kelsey, there. Pearson just not learning from the previous man-down defense. We can see what Coach Luke Manthe was trying to do there. He was trying to press tight on the top and rush the players in between. Unfortunately, the defender's not responding to those instructions, and again, leaving Duprice open as she likes on the post, and a lovely controlled finish by her as well.
Yeah, fantastic finish. Like I said, you have to look after those posts on the defense, or else you open up those spaces right in front of goal.
Opportunity for Duprice to score her second goal in a matter of seconds. Unfortunately, the crossbar there coming to the aid of the Pearson goalkeeper, Nareen Kluti.
Only 40 seconds left in the third quarter, and Pearson have their last attack here if they can maintain the possession of the ball.
Big tussle going on in the centre. Referee Luke Penny adjudicating that the centre from Pearson had gone under. Awards a reversal and gives Redham potentially the last say in this third quarter.
20 seconds to go on the clock, and Redham having their last attack. Have to try create something before the end of the buzzer goes.
What are the thoughts there, Kelsey? Although the player, as we see a counter-attack now with 3 seconds, she has to pick up the ball. Erin, unfortunately not able to do so. What are your thoughts there, that last action there by Erin, who was defending? Yes, she did have her hands up and tried her best to roll around the player, but entire body on top of the player there. Do we play on? Do we exclude ordinary foul? What are your thoughts?
I think the girl who was controlling the ball unfortunately wasn't using her legs enough for Erin to come around and steal the ball there. On the perimeter, I mean, we see it at international level over and over with our national team, is we're not used to having people climb on top of us or come around you and steal. And we need to make sure that at junior level the referees are making sure that the defense can do that, especially if your attackers aren't working hard enough to keep control of the ball and using their legs.
Certainly so, lots to learn by the ladies, but visuals obviously brought to us by School Sports Live. Hopefully everybody around the country is tuned in and watching to learn. Please make sure that you do join School Sports Live on all our social media platforms, on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, as well as Twitter. All the updates from most events around the country when it comes to school sport. Lovely to have the School Sports Live team with us. And whilst we enjoy the last break of this final, just a quick mention of the sponsors. Obviously to the head sponsor, Maitland. Many thanks for their generous support, as well as the others. Amicis Pizzeria, Big Sky Productions, a City Lodge group of hotels, to Conti, to Genup and Heliocare, to Informed Liberty, Mercedes-Benz Bryanston, My O2 Recovery Gel, the OSA Recovery Tent, Pepto Pro, Peanut, Prego Master, Sportsman's Warehouse, and lastly, the Sun International Vacation Club. Many thanks to all these sponsors. The generous contributions are most appreciated. Last quarter to go, Kelsey, 7 minutes stop-start to play by both teams. Pearson in a lead of just a single goal. 7-6 is a scoreline.
Yes, definitely. Both teams making this a great final to watch. Keep engaging and trying to make goals of every opportunity. And it's been a great final to watch, and well handled by both referees, Luke Penny and Matt Stringer, being very consistent on both ends.
Certainly so. As a coach, I'm sure you'll agree, Kelsey, anything a coach wants is consistency by the officials, and that they have certainly done thus far. And a kick out on number 6, the captain Hannah Reid of Pearson.
And number 7 of Redham being very clever, trying to get in front of her player, showing that she's being swum on, which is not allowed, causing the kick out there. And with Redham with a man-up opportunity here to try and get on the scoreboard.
Massive appeals by Coach Grant McKenzie for a penalty in that play, Kelsey. What are your thoughts?
With us talking about playing the advantage earlier, the defense was trying to get away from being on her back, and the girl swimming with the ball and ball in hand. So my interpretation would be a kick out for that opportunity.
Well, doesn't matter to Jordan Harding as she converts for Redham. Evens up the scores now at 7-all in this final. Lovely shot into the far left-hand corner by Harding.
Redham obviously practice a lot of their man-up opportunities as they have converted. I think it would be 3 out of 4 man-up opportunities that they have been given.
Really impressive, Kelsey, as you would know, particularly at an international level as well. Not very many man-ups are converted. The percentage is quite low for so Redham to come to a final and convert more than 75% of their man-ups thus far in the game is certainly very impressive.
Yes, it's what can set teams apart, and both teams, both Pearson and Redham, apart from all the other teams at this tournament, being able to relax and think about their spaces instead of just thinking goal. And Redham showing us exactly how that should be done.
Quick to react to the ball is Hannah Reid. Ball comes into the centre now. Exclusion foul blown by Matthew Stringer. Josie will make her way into the red box. Power play here by Pearson. They need to convert this, Kelsey, to maintain their dominance on this game. Otherwise, they do risk the opportunity of letting Redham creep into the lead here for the first time.
And a wonderful shot again from Erin Harty, getting into the right space on the right wing there, getting her legs ready as soon as she's catching that ball to come over and try and score in that near side corner after they moved the goalkeeper very, very well. And that corner is completely open, taking the opportunity and finishing with a superb bounce shot.
Lovely worked extra man by Pearson, adopting, it must be said, very similar tactics to that of Redham in terms of pressing tight on the top and the players rushing there. But a lovely controlled ball as we see Erin back onto the defense now to seal that ball, and she makes her way slowly up the pool. Dana trying to adopt her position on 5 meters. Massive tussle into the center again.
Hannah Reid trying her lob again, unfortunately from the other side of the pool, and falling short of the goals. And Pearson looking to get their second centres both in, having a double hole set up again.
Lovely, lovely composure there by Hannah from Redham. Referee Luke Penny doing well there to allow the players to play, but defender just not practicing a bit of urgency to come onto the player. Hannah coming up, realizing how much time she has, and a lovely lob shot into the corner.
It's been great to see the different variations of all kinds of shots and every player being used on both sides, with great exclusion, man-up opportunities, centre-forward work, outside shots, foul shots. So it's good to see, and that's what shows you what good depth is in both of these teams, Redham and Pearson.
Good maturity and intelligence as well, because it is quite difficult to pull those off. So credit to both coaching staff from both sides. Obviously, well-trained ladies these are, and thoroughly deserving of the final here at the St. Stithians Invitational.
With it being 2 minutes 56 in the last quarter, 8-all. Very, very exciting final, and We should see which team comes off with a goal. Pearson on the attack, but Redham being able to come on defense and control the ball and make sure that they are covered. Lots of risky passes, no control, but Pearson seemed to be in control of the ball again.
Now is not the time to be panicking, Kelsey, as we see the ball changing hands quite a few times. Lots of players are panicking. We need maturity here. Not the right option there, Kelsey. Both coaches obviously with a timeout still in hand. And this is the rhythm that we're used to. Counter-attacking quickly up the pool is Hannah. Unfortunately, both defenders converging upon her and doing very nicely to steal the ball away. Erin now with an attacking opportunity for Pearson. The centre, Gerber, working really hard in the centre of the goal, but Leah equal to the task.
Now with trying to force a shot, we see both teams trying to rush their attacks, maybe not waiting for the best opportunity and forcing the ball in where they should be making sure they're using their full 6 in the field, or in the pool, should I say. But both teams forcing back and forth, and it seems to be turning into a little bit of a gala in our last 2 minutes of the game.
A contra foul awarded by Luke Penny, the centre from Redham, adjudicated to have been grabbing onto the suit. They need to get that ball into a centre forward position, does Pearson. They've really struggled to get that ball in, as we see now a good opportunity to get the ball in. Gerber working really hard.
There we see number 4, Jana, very, very strong in the hole, is able to maintain good body position, and Pearson working well to get it into her there.
Extra man now. We see the rush defense that Redham is adopting. Not doing very well at this stage to use their extra man advantage. Pearson.
Again, Dana Bond from Zimbabwe getting up as big as she can. Did fumble the ball, so Redham had a little bit of an opportunity to try come across there, and unfortunately just for Redham goalie slipping right under her arm. She did read it quite well, and Dana Bond with a goal for Pearson, making it 9-8 and 57 seconds left in the game.
Creeps into the first near corner there of Annika. Does that ball. It does give Pearson the slightest of advantages. A goal in it. About 2 attacks left in the remainder of this game, Kelsey.
I think Pearson trying to play very safe, trying to not foul all over the place. As we know, they're good at the fouling shots and being able to just keep the ball. And Luke Manthe, calling a timeout for his Pearson team with just short of 30 seconds left. Good timing there, just to keep his team composed and in control of the ball to keep the win, hopefully.
Excellent experience shown there by the national junior women's coach, Luke Manthe, realizing there's 1 possession left in the game, and also alert to the fact that he's got 1 more timeout remaining. I'm sure the instructions to his players will be to set up as wide as possible, allowing a stretch defense by Redham, and to control the ball for the entire possession. On the other hand, I'm sure Grant McKenzie will be implementing a tight press with an opportunity to rush in between the players. And let's not forget, particularly the likes of a Hannah, a counter-attack is always an option for Redham.
Yes, I'm sure Grant McKenzie's been telling them to push up and keep going. It's not over till that last whistle blows. Anything can happen. So Pearson have to be very careful on how they protect this ball, and Redham going hard to try and get that possession back. Already we see everyone starting to panic, but they need to keep possession of the ball.
A bit of confusion here, Kelsey, and I must say, being a referee myself, I am slightly confused. We are well into the last 30 seconds of the game. And having that possession, obviously, by Pearson, they have to play positive water polo and move forward. Twice now they've made no intentions of moving the ball forward and or positive play, passing it back to the goalkeeper. As far as my understanding, that is an immediate contra foul.
Yes.
So referees just having a word with each other to deliberate, and we will see what the eventuality is.
That seems to have been picked up by a match stringer, quite experienced. And yes, you're not allowed to play the ball backwards. The team has to make intent of moving forwards so as to that they're not wasting time. And it seems that Pearson weren't doing that.
Referees now just converging to deliberate. I'm not too certain what the decision is. Seems to be a little bit of confusion. Certainly the reversal seems to have been called, and as that happens, Grant McKenzie using his last timeout. So albeit a little bit of confusion, credit to the referees, they were aware of the mistake. They called a timeout just to deliberate, and I think the correct decision being made at the end of the day. So all's well, hasn't quite ended as yet. Still about 10 seconds to go as I had a look on the shot clock. Let's see if Grant McKenzie, obviously not very foreign to this situation, been in these situations plenty of times. Let's see if he can pull a rabbit out the hat here, or if Luke Manthe will survive the last 10 seconds of this final.
Yeah, lots of experience there from Grant McKenzie, the Redham coach. I remember him even coaching Western Province teams when we were still in high school, Lucky, and still being successful. So a lot of credit to him, bringing through lots of good Redham teams, lots of Western Province teams, and obviously using his experience every game. And in this final, you can see how relaxed the Redham girls are and the good, how it just comes off from the coach as well.
Lovely to see the support of Mr. Guy Pinker as well. He's at the tournament having a look at the referees. 10 seconds here to go. A shot will have to come away. Unfortunately there by Redham, shot from the captain from Redham not coming away. The crossbar to the aid of Pearson. And the final score here at the St. Sidion's Invitational goes the way of Pearson from East London by 9 goals to 8 versus Redham from Cape Town.
What a fantastic final on both sides. I think credit to both teams. This is what you want your finals to be. You want them to be close games like this and not just a walk away from one team. So both teams playing really, really well. So well done to Pearson and to Redham, and what a great tournament for the girls section of the St. Sidion's Waterpolo tournament.
Lovely exposure as well, it must be said, Kelsey, for these girls to sit on a stage such as this one. Obviously a lot of hard work goes into the preparation for these tournaments, and lovely to see it appreciated by everybody, whether you're joining us live here at St. Sidion's or watching via the YouTube channel.
It's also nice to see with both teams in the final, they're not coming from Gauteng. How many Gauteng schools have stayed to support and to watch the good water polo that's being played. I think there's a lot of support here, and it's a wonderful venue, good setup for a final like this, your good schools tournament, and that's all credit going to St. Sidion's College.
So courtesies exchanged by both sides, and the easiest job for Coach Luke Manthe to do is cool off into the pool to celebrate the efforts of him and his team. Thoroughly deserved. Lovely controlled final it was. One or two moments where Pearson was not in control, but apart from that, I think a well-controlled final by Pearson. Did well not to panic when Redham did come back into the contest, and all the big main players for Pearson, in particular Dana, stepping up to the plate, which often we see players not coming to the party when it matters most. But a good team effort, it must be said, by both sides. Lovely flowing water polo we saw, Kelsey, and also two different types of play. We saw the mobile play of Redham versus the more bigger, possessive play of Pearson. And just lastly from our side, They say if you don't notice the referees, it was a good game. Certainly both referees, as young as they are, doing a superb job of controlling this game. I think no coach will ever fight against consistency, and that they were this afternoon, Kelsey.
Absolutely. Luke and Matt controlled that game completely, very consistent on both ends. It was a great final to watch with like you say, not realizing that the refs are there, and that's when you know the game has been controlled properly and the officials did their job. Looks like Stanislav Gospidinov, it will be one of the refs for the men's final. Also very, very experienced, coming from Bulgaria and been working with polo in South Africa for many years, and also hopefully we'll have a good final on the whistle end.
Certainly so. The men's final up next, but for this ladies game we're going to wrap it up now. From myself, Lucky Letabo, and joining me in commentary, the first team coach from St. Mary's in Waverley, Kelsey White. The final of the ladies ends by Pearson winning that one gold medal match by 9 goals to 8. From us here in commentary and to the Big Sky production team, it's cheers for now. We'll see you for the men's final.
Cheers. Seriously, like, this is not going to work. And he's like, please, there's no one else here representing ladies waterpolo.
Right, the teams are lining up and we're ready to go. The referees can go across to that side of the pool as well. Congratulations to our two teams that reached the final after some wonderful water polo this weekend. Congratulations to Rhonda Bosch and Sachs, both Cape Town schools. Let's welcome them. We'll begin with the Rhonda Bosch players. Player number 1, Oliver Defan. 2, Guy Ellis-Brown. 3, Michael Sabor. 4, Michael John Smuts. 5, David van Selm. 6, Ross Stone. 7, Oliver Shaw. 8, Timothy Kelly. 9, Keegan Stewart. 10, Thomas Oliver. 11, Andrew Hewlett. 12, Jonathan Swanepoel. 13, Troy Fisher. The coach is Dean Rimmer and the manager Jack Purcell. Representing Sachs, number 1, Jack van Heerden. 2, Devin Lawrenson. 3, Caleb Millen. 4, Brent van Niekerk. 5, Thomas Brewer. 6 Jordan Thomas, 7 Matthew Tor, 8 Sebastian Anima, 9 Liam Brown, 10 Sebastian Watson, 11 Sebastian Williams, 12 Jordan Roger Roos, 13 Benjamin Hartley. The coach is Devon Card, and the manager is Dave McKinnon. Welcome to Sachs. Our referees to officiate this game, and two world-class referees here in Stanislav Gospodinov. Stan's record is that he represented Bulgaria in a World Cup and 9 European Championships. A great deal of experience there, certainly one of South Africa's great water polo players. And Jean-Marc de Carvalho has represented South Africa for the past 15 years. A huge experience around the pool now. Thank you, gentlemen, for all you've given to water polo, and thank you for officiating in the World Finals here. Good luck to both teams, and enjoy the final. There's also an opportunity if any of the boys or girls who have been commentating for our live streaming. We do have one commentator, but looking for one more commentator to go and enjoy the live streaming for the final. A very special moment to be able to commentate out there with the live streaming together with Lucky.
Welcome back to Bryanston in Johannesburg. We're at the St. Stidians Invitational up here for the boys final at the St. Stidians Invitational. We've just seen an epic encounter between Pearson and Redham from Cape Town. Pearson just clinching that one by a single goal, 9-8 into it. We are now just about to begin the under-18 boys final. Players will be very familiar with each other. It is a Western Province derby. In the white caps is Sachs. I beg your pardon, Rondebosch in the white caps. And in the blue caps is Sachs. Referees to take on this final will be Mr. Jean-Marc de Carvalho, seasoned campaigner with over 15 years experience for the South African men's side. Coach as well for Rodin up in Johannesburg. And his colleague on the table side is Mr. Stanislav Gospodinov. A wealth of experience in terms of playing for Bulgaria. He's been in the country for a while and has made valuable contributions in terms of coaching. He's down at Clarendon, and he gets his final underway. Playing on your screens from the right to the left is Rondebosch, and opposing them in the darker caps from left to right is Sachs. Long course pool, obviously, we're playing in for this final. We'll see which team is better suited and adapts to this wide pool. The final will be contested 8 minutes of playing water polo, so that will be a stop-start. 2 timeouts allowed by each coach, should they be in possession of the ball. First attacking opportunity now for Sachs. Very strong centre forward in Caleb. Realizing that is Sachs. First shot on goal there by Sebastian Watson. equal to the task is Oliver. Nice and wide is this pool, and that's why a double center option is being awarded. Michael Saber receives the first contra foul of the game. Referee Mr. Gospodinov adjudicating that he had just used his head against a player. Ball making its way quite gingerly around the pool. Good blocking there by Benjamin Hartley, the left-hander from, I beg your pardon, that is Troy Fisher from Rondebosch. On the attack via Saber. Passes from both sides, just not sticking. Obviously, the players just getting accustomed to this wide pool. Possibly slight nerves as well coming into this final. Lovely to see the crowd out today to come and support the water polo. Weather also playing its part. We had a big thunderstorm yesterday, but lovely day it is today. And first one onto the scoreboard is Swanepoel, driving up the middle of the pool and being noticed by Ross Stone, his counterpart. Lovely pass into the middle of the goal, and he makes no mistake to finish. Important there, as you see the highlight, was the Bok. The Bok was able to draw the defender to Ross Stone and make an easier task for Swanepoel to finish. Contra foul again, blown by referee Gospodinov. Ross Stone quick on the counter-attack, as we've become accustomed to. Lovely water polo by Rondebosch. Good control again by Ross Stone. Easy pop over to Thomas Oliver, and he makes no mistake from 2 meters. Back live we are now. Sax now really do just need to settle things down. At the moment they just seem to be doing everything with a little bit of haste. Mr. De Cavallo awarding the contra foul to Saber. Centre forward from Sax was just impeding. And a lovely casual steal there by Van Niekerk. They need to make their way up the pool a little bit quicker, does Sax. As centre making his way into the pool now. Good control of the ball by Devin Lawrenson. Unfortunately, not able to turn and to finish on goal. Shot on goal and equal to the task was Oliver. We will have the first corner thrower in this final, and possession will be reset for the Sax side. Doing very nicely Rondebosch to sit in between the players, allowing them to intercept balls should they be able to come into the center, as we've just seen there. Saber will make his way up the pool. Never shy to have a shot on goal is Sabre. But defenders doing well to rise nice and high to block that ball. Rondebosch obviously just coming off a tournament win down at Sachs in Cape Town. So they are used to being in final season campaigners, led by head coach Dean Rimmer. That hooter signals the end of the possession by Sachs. Rosszone onto the counter-attack. Exclusion foul. Rosszone did well to control that ball and was awarded an exclusion foul. First power play opportunity we're seeing in this final. In control is Sabre at the moment. And out of the pool is Liam Brown. 20 seconds of advantage Rondebosch will have with a man in the corner. Lovely vision there by Rosszone. Unfortunately, the player was inside the 2 meter. That is the red zone in water polo. Those of you that are familiar with football, and to explain in simple terms, just the offside line when it comes to water polo. So that's why the contra foul was given. A big tussle between Rosszone and the center. Quick to come down onto the drop is Andrew Hewlett. So he avoids any danger by the center getting the ball. Penalty foul awarded by referee Gospodinov, adjudicating that Thomas Oliver was impeded on his way to a probable goal scoring opportunity, and that's why penalty is awarded. Sabre lines himself up on 5 meters and converts. Rondebosch at the moment in a very comfortable 3-0 lead. Three possessions left in this first quarter. Coming over the player is Matthew Tor, resulting in the contra foul. Quick on the break is Rondebosch. Equal to the task is Sachs. Exclusion foul once again. Jordan Thomas this time, impeding Rosszone. Power play advantage they'll have. Lovely quick movement of the ball by Rondebosch results in a second goal by Troy Fisher. Important there for everybody to notice. In an extra man advantage as we just go through the highlights package for that extra man. Quick movement of the ball off the water, drawing the players. An accurate shooting gives the goalkeeper no opportunity there to save the shot by Troy Fisher. 4-0 the scoreline with just under a minute to go in this, the men's final at the St. Stithians Invitational. Quick to the danger are the Rondebosch boys, and quick onto the attack. They are not letting the 4-0 advantage so in and amongst that counter-attack with white water and busy bodies everywhere, there is an exclusion foul. Second one, if I'm not mistaken, by Brewer. And a lovely shot there. Whistle going, but I think the goal will stand. Referee Gospodinov just would like to have a word with one of the players. Just before that power play, I was just mentioning that Rondebosch not letting the scoreline flatter them. So going about their business and quite in an urgent fashion. Once again, doesn't seem to be learning is Matthew Tor, just impeding the player by going over him once again. Opportunity in the last couple of seconds to have a shot. Timothy Kelly rather, having the shot there. The first chucker ends with a flattering scoreline of 5-0 in favour of Rondebosch. Lovely tournament, it must be said, throughout the weekend. We've had all the top teams from around the country here at the St. Sidion's Invitational. We've had the first team girls from around the country, the first team boys, and together with the first team prep school section in terms of the under 13 girls down into the baby pool. Really has been a lovely festival of water polo. Some top class games as well throughout this tournament. Lovely bronze medal game a little bit earlier between regular rivals, it seems, at tournament stages. Clifton from Durban and St. John's College from just up the road. Good to see all the youngsters making their way down to watch this final. Best way sometimes to learn about this interesting sport is to make sure that we're watching. So lovely to see everybody that's come out to come and to support. And thank goodness the weather's playing its part. I mentioned just before we get this game underway to the title sponsor Maitland. Massive thanks to Maitland for their involvement and generosity rather to this tournament. It is, I'm sure, much appreciated. Lovely to see the management staff of St. Stidion's here. I see the headmaster, Mr. David Knowles, is here as well. Mr. Alistair Stewart, who's the head of advancement here at St. Stidion's. They have come through to watch. We've also got Mr. Guy Pinker, who sits on the FINA Technical Water Polo Committee. He's here as well. We also have Mr. Steve Lamarck. He's the newly appointed Director of Coaching at the national level. Mr. Richard Irvine, who's the Chairman of South African Schools Water Polo. He's here as well. I'll try see who else I can spot into the crowd, but lovely to have all the supporters of water polo here in their different capacities. Man-up opportunity. Not going according to plan by Sex. It's critical that they get their name on the score sheet before this runs away from them. To their advantage, however, plenty of time still left in this game for them to turn it around. At the moment, it is Rondebosch that are in firm control of this boys' final. Head coach from Sax, Devon Card, will need to get his players going so they're able to give a response. He is, of course, the current centre forward for the national men's side and has just taken over the reins at Sax down in Cape Town as the head coach. Plenty of experience from him. cheeky no-looker pass by Rostone into the centre. Unfortunately, centre forward not able to get that shot away. Working really hard is Brent van Niekerk. And driving is Sebastian. And he gets awarded an exclusion foul. Into the corner goes Oliver Shaw. Man-up opportunity by Sachs. Double-handed foul adjudicated by referee Gospodinov. And sends Jonathan Swanepoel into the corner. Double man advantage. And Sachs once again unable to convert. They are playing with a man short is Rondebosch, as Coach Dean Rimmer was just making a change. Ball going under the water by the opposing player, awards the Sachs an opportunity to go onto the attack. Unfortunate there by Lawrenson, doing his best in the center to try get the ball off there, just going over the top of the bars. Just looking over my screen here, Troy Fisher has taken and knocked to the head, to the lip rather. The medical staff will tend to him, I'm sure. In the meantime, another extra man advantage by Rondebosch. And as casual as you like, Jonathan Swanepoel in the center of the goal, making no mistake. First goal we've seen in this second chukka. And we see on the highlights package, no defender, no hands by the defending side, Sachs. And he makes his way up to the pool, getting much closer before he gets his shot away. At the halfway stage now of the second chukka. Silly exclusion foul there by one of the players from Rondebosch. It does, however, give Sachs the opportunity for an extra man attack. They desperately need to get a goal, as we see the pass by Lawrenson intercepted. Bit of a fumble, but eventually retrieved by Rondebosch. And Sabre sends their teammate Rostone on the counter-attack. Push shot in front of goals. Lovely save there by Jack van Heerden. Reverse shot there by Brent van Niekerk. Just hitting the post. Good defending by Lawrenson in the center there. No real reply by Sachs at the moment. In full control is Rondebosch. Just a little bit over 2 minutes to go. Massive tussle going on between Sabre at the centre-back position shot is on its way, hopefully, because the 30 seconds is expiring. So quick and alert to that 30 seconds clock is Ross Stone. Away very quickly on an attack. One of many throughout this game. This is, of course, the boys' final of the St. Stidians Invitational for the year of 2017. And at the moment, Rondebosch in firm control of this one. They lead by 6-0 in the second quarter. Shot blocked there. Sex players having to retreat. Not in any rush is Sabre. Into the last minute of this quarter. Sex on the attack. They need a goal, and there it comes. The first one of the game. Lovely bounce shot into the top corner. And Sex announce their arrival into this final in terms of the scorecard. Matthew Torr responsible for that one. 6-1 the score with into the last minute rather of this final. Exclusion foul in the last 30 seconds. Unable to convert. About 15 seconds left in this quarter before the halftime break. The teams will switch across ends. They'll have a bit of a longer rest. Deflection shot to end the chucker off. That will give Sachs a little bit of hope. That's 2 goals there from them. And the last minute of the second quarter did take a wicked deflection, it must be said. But I'm sure Brewer will not be complaining about that one. We are now at the halfway mark of this final. Despite those 2 goals, still a 4-goal advantage to Rondebosch. Plenty to do for Sachs if they are to come back into this final. Plenty of time to do it in as well. I'm sure head coach Devon Codd will be motivating his players. It is only halfway through the game, as we see some of the highlights from that last quarter. These visuals are, of course, courtesy of School Sports Live. To them and the entire production team, the cameramen that have been working tirelessly throughout the weekend, from very early in the morning to late at night. I'm sure those that are watching these visuals are most appreciative. Please do show your support for School Sports Live. They are on all social media platforms, on YouTube, on Twitter, Facebook, as well as those Instagrammers. Please make sure you do follow School Sports Live. They do a fantastic job around the country in bringing you live sport. Once again, to Maitland, the title sponsor of this invitational, massive thanks to them for their support and their contributions. That message on behalf of the Tournament Organizing Committee under the leadership of Tournament Director Mr. Bruno Fernandes and Chair Lady Mrs. Liska van Tuberg, and everybody here at St. Sidion's that have put in hands to make this tournament a success. Many thanks to all of you. We've had 4 days of end-to-end water polo here, and it is slowly but surely coming to an end now with this men's final. Just to go through all the other sponsors as well. Amitsi Pizzeria, Big Sky Productions, big thanks as well to the City Lodge group of hotels, to Conti, the water polo ball sponsor, to Genup and HelioCare, Infomed Liberty, Mercedes-Benz Bryanson, My O2 Recovery Gel, OSA the Hospitality Tent, Pepto Pro, Peanut, Prego Master, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Lossy Sun International Vacation Club. Thank you to your generous contributions and attributing to the success of this tournament. To the refereeing staff under the guidance of Mr. Michael Brady, many thanks to those gentlemen for their efforts throughout the weekend in terms of controlling all the games. Your efforts are much appreciated as well. Halftime break is done. We are back to the third quarter. 2 more quarters to go. 8 minutes of playing time. Both coaches still have timeouts afforded to them. First on the attack is Rondebosch. And we see an exclusion foul there by Lawrenson. Troy Fisher has obviously recovered for the cut on his lip. And he was awarded that lovely extra man played there by Rondebosch. Postman coming out to receive the ball. And a lovely shot over the goalie's head by Andrew Hewlett. No center at the moment by Sachs. He's there now, and Sachs will want to get the ball to him as quickly as they can. Intercepted, however, by one of the Rondebosch players. A slow setup here by Rondebosch. Back on the attack is Sachs. Foul was inside the 5-meter area, the yellow zone, so the player was not able to take an immediate shot on goal. Hence the 1-2 played. Shot on goal by Rondebosch. Goalkeeper lovely and equal to the task to save. It does, however, give Rondebosch a new attacking possession. A call, and cool as a cucumber is Troy Fisher as he converts another one of Rondebosch's goal. 8 to the scoreline. I see Sachs has got one less player. He will take no further part in this final. He's had 3 exclusions. Remember, if you have 3 exclusions, you may no longer take part in the game. Double center option employed by Rondebosch. 30-second clock running down. A shot will have to come from the outside. Exclusion foul awarded. 20-second power play now. Sachs needed to converge. You can see the frustrations of Coach Devon Card, asking his players for a little bit more urgency, particularly on the extra man. Good first corner blocking by Rondebosch. And they immediately back onto the attack once more. First time catch and release by Ross Stone. The goalie there having none of it. Bit of strange weather we're having here in Johannesburg. A little bit of sun, a little bit of wind, a little bit cloudy, and I see now it's starting to drizzle a little bit. So we've got all types of weather going on here that will see us through this final. We are now coming to halfway through the third quarter. If you've just joined us, do make sure that you go back on the YouTube stream and watch that ladies final. End-to-end stuff it was between Pearson and Redham from Cape Town. Absolute thriller that ended by 9 goals to 8 in favor of Pearson. So do make sure that when you do have a moment, you go back and watch that final. Again, Postman coming off, sliding into a 3-3 position. Sabre rising high and finishing quite nicely there. Flattering scoreline of 9 goals to 2 now in favor of Sachs. Favor of Rondebosch, rather. Very difficult to see their Western Province counterparts coming back from this one. Quick release by Sabre, not allowing defenders to jump on him. And a lovely finish. Certainly can't give up Sachs. They need to keep chugging along. Plenty of time still left. As we see another wayward shot and another counter-attack by Rondebosch. It's that man again, Ross Stone. Penalty awarded. Textbook penalty, player making his way towards the goal and is impeded. Conversion there by Rondebosch from the penalty. cool finish there by David to stretch even further the lead, that of Rondebosch. Doing well to ladder and sit in between the lanes, Rondebosch. Obviously a move from the polo pool. Lawrenson, however, not too shy to have a crack, and that ball makes its way into the top right-hand corner. Third goal now for Sex. Slowly but surely chipping away at this lead by Rondebosch. Ornery foul in the last 6 seconds. Exclusion foul for the upteenth time by Rostone, and again converts his own exclusion, dipping under the goalkeeper's arms there. Just under 2 minutes left in this quarter. We are up in Bryanston at the St. Stidians First Team Invitational. This is the gold medal match in terms of the boys. In the blue caps is Sex, and in the white caps is Rondebosch. It is, of course, a Western Province derby. Both teams will be well accustomed and familiar with each other. Getting slightly nippy up here as the wind continues to make its way across the pool. Not the sunshine and 30 degrees as we are accustomed to up here in Johannesburg. Still a lovely day, however, for water polo. Playing the ball after the foul is awarded allows Mr. Gospodinov an opportunity to exclude one of the Rondebosch boys. A power play now for Sex into the last 30 seconds. It would be lovely for them to convert here to keep this game being a contest. We need a shot now, and 30 seconds expires. Not often you see a team in a power play position with time expiring on the attack with not a shot having gone off. Third chukka comes to an end. Rondebosch in a very comfortable lead in this final. They lead by 11 goals to 3. As we see a couple of the visuals from this final, it must be said that it's all been Rondebosch thus far throughout this game. Firm control of the game. This team has been together for a number of years, so very familiar with each other. And a textbook performance by them so far in this final. Following this final will be, of course, the medal presentation and ceremony. Hopefully you'll stick around and join us for that. A lot of the players I know hanging around to see who's going to make the much anticipated tournament side. 13 top players are chosen from the respective schools, judging by their performances throughout this tournament, both the ladies and the men. Having made it to the final, obviously a couple of them will come from these two teams. Some players putting up their hands, definitely. Lovely facilities here as we get just a panoramic view of this arena here at St. Stithians. They've really put on a display here, have St. Stithians College. And a pleasure to watch this final in this setting. Really going above the call of duty, St. Stithians. New clocks, new lanes, new goals, the works. We really are privileged to be in such a setting here. Lovely work by Lawrenson to intercept that ball and send Sachs on the attack. They do have an extra man advantage. Can they use it? Quick and alert to the danger is Rondebosch, and they managed to intercept that. A reminder, of course, that the nickname for this tournament is the Stayers Tournament. No matrics are allowed to play. Obviously now, school polo is almost done and dusted for them. They're concentrating on matric finals now. So they will play no further part in school sport, unless, of course, they are selected and decide to play for their respective inter-provincial sides at the end of this year. Those will be hosted in both East London and Graham's and Port Elizabeth. And they will take place from the 8th to the 12th of December. One of the biggest schoolboy tournaments and events in the country. About 1,500 boys and girls participating in their provinces, from age groups as young as 13 years old in the girls and boys, all the way through to the open section, which is under 19. Direct shot on goal, goalkeeper equal to the task. Rising there is Lawrenson. How he managed to get that into the goal, we'll have to wait for the highlight packet and see. But lovely strength shown by Devon to get up in that ball and put into the back of the net. Lovely to see the fighting spirit by Devon, not letting this one slide and not giving up. Continues to work very hard. (11-4) the scoreline. Rondebosch firmly ahead still, not panicking at all. 30 seconds about to expire. Shot coming away onto the post. Neither coach has used their timeouts thus far this game. In terms of Rondebosch, not really needed. The players have been in firm control and really have made head coach Dean Rimmer's job very, very easy. There's very little that as a coach you'd have to complain about. Silly mistake there by the Sex player Saber. getting a shot off, but not having completely crossed the line. In water polo, the entire ball must cross the line. Unfortunately, the reactions of the defensive side a bit slow, and that ball trickling behind the goal. 8 goals they lead by. Rondebosch, just over 4.5 minutes left in this boys' final. Fair enough to say, job almost done and dusted by head coach Dean Rimmer. Disappointed will be the boys from Sex after a superb semi-final versus St. John's College. They will not be happy with their performance here. Of course, different conditions here in this long course pool. Much wider in this Olympic polo pool. Has suited Rondebosch very nicely in terms of their counter-attacking ability. Top shooters have also contributed to the success of Rondebosch. Good to see head coach Devin Card still motivating his players, encouraging them to play until the last whistle, which is admirable. And there we see the first timeout called by the Rondebosch coach Dean Rimmer. He'll have about a minute with his players and play will resume at the halfway stage. Not really much to talk about in terms of Rondebosch. Just a team change to give some of the other players on his bench a go. In water polo, we have a maximum of 13 players, 7 in the pool at all times, including the goalkeeper. And you are able to substitute and change players
just in the last few moments
at will.
There will be an award ceremony afterwards, so please do remain seated in the stands, and we'll set up that and get going as quickly as possible.
Just waiting for the time to expire, and the timeout is now done and dusted. Following this final is obviously the medal presentation. The top 3 sides from both the ladies and men's will be awarded with their medals. That'll be followed by the tournament awards. Seamless weekend it has been here at the St. Sidion's Invitational, with contributions from everybody. Lots of polo on the go this weekend in Johannesburg, up at Crawford Lonehill. We have the Under 15 Cup of Honor tournament. Those finals are due to get underway very soon if they haven't started as yet. I know they were at 1:30 the final. Up across at Rodin, the girls' school in Houghton. There's also the Under 14 national tournament. So lots of polo on the go up here in Johannesburg. Back to this final exclusion foul in favor of Sex. 2 minutes to go here in this final. Shot on goal and a bit of ping pong on the 2-meter line, and finally brought under control by the Rondebosch goalkeeper. Phasing this final out is Rondebosch. Let's hope the heavens will be with us. I hear some thunder about. We'd hate to have this finally interrupted. Mr. De Cavallo adjudicating that the foul was inside the 5-meter area. So player is not allowed to have an immediate shot on goal, hence the contra foul. Heading into the last minute of this final. Shot saved there by the Rondebosch goalkeeper. Should be the last attack in favor of Sex. Just under a minute left. So should Rondebosch phase out and see out this final possession of Sex, it will be a job done and dusted. Ball there being planted in no man's land. Exclusion by the Rondebosch goalkeeper. The experience of Mr. Gospodinov, making sure he doesn't turn away from the attack. Noticing some misconduct there by the goalkeeper, resulting in an exclusion. And quick to pounce are Sex, and they convert. Last 30 seconds, and it seems that the storm is upon us. So referees just making sure that they get this game done and dusted. And then we can do the award ceremony as quickly as possible. Letting it slip here slightly are Sex, Rondebosch. They've had a lovely controlled game the entire final. And literally in the last 2 minutes, they've had the better of their opponents, Rondebosch and Caleb Millen. Again, a potent factor for them. Shot on goal there, will see it go away. And a massive rugby tackle into the pool goes head coach Dean Rimmer. Celebrations all round by Rondebosch. This final now concludes a flattering scoreline of 12 goals to 6 in favor of Rondebosch Boys High School from Western Cape. The runners-up will finish up as Sex. Textbook final for Dean Rimmer and his men. Good control. It did have everything in it. Many thanks to the referees as well that adjudicated this final, Mr. John Mark De Cavallo, and so too Mr. Stanislav Gospodinov. Lovely control of the game and making sure that we're able to enjoy it. They did a very good job. To all officials at this tournament, particularly the table staff that don't get mentioned too often. They have worked tirelessly at the technical tables throughout the tournament. Many thanks to them for their tireless efforts. To the tournament committee as well. A massive thanks to you for putting on such a spectacle. To everybody that has joined us to come watch throughout the weekend. Absolute pleasure having you here. To the productions team of Big Sky, thanks very much for their efforts to make sure that we're bringing everybody these games live. They've really done a sterling job throughout the weekend, working tirelessly as well. To all the teams that have...
He's bought the newspaper from Jabu on his way to work for as long as he can remember. Always the same corner, the same time, only the front page changes. They debate the most important matters in the world until the robot turns green. Protect your future memories by ensuring the one thing that keeps your conversation going, your income. Follow the link to learn more about Liberty's income protection. Liberty, the advantage of knowing. Their romance started with love notes, then texting. And even now that he's hundreds of kilometers away, they stay close, one video chat at a time. Protect your future memories by ensuring the one thing that makes your connection possible, your income. Follow the link to learn more about Liberty's income protection. Liberty, the advantage of knowing.